What's going on? Oh, that was a bad, yeah, I don't like that intro. Whatever, I'm not editing that. I'm SoCal Honey Badger, and that was my intro. Put my bowl down. Not bad manners, just good weed. Anyways, today we're going to talk about a topic that I usually mock you people for, and that is ranked mode. Because I've come across some data that I find fascinating, and you people keep asking me to make guides. And rather than have my fan base be a bunch of 18-year-olds asking me how to Korean backdash, I've decided, you know what, man, let's foster some deeper conversation, right? Let's dig into the depth of Tekken, and let's dig into the depth of the meta of Tekken. Because if you're like a lot of my viewers, you're coming over from Mortal Kombat and you have no clue what you're stepping into. We are in shark-infested waters, people. And one thing that I have found today, and we will pull up our data, relates to ranked mode. And I want to talk about ranked mode because, A, I don't care about ranked mode, but you guys do. But I also find ranked mode fascinating. Now, I don't care about ranked mode in the sense that I don't believe rank defines your level. I believe that you define your level, and when you are satisfied with your level of gameplay is when you're satisfied. No rank is going to determine that. To drive the point home, let's go and look at my rank, right? Full disclosure, look at this. Oh, yeah. Oh, nice, right? Orange man bad. I come from the old school where we keep our rank artificially low. Because when I'm going to tournaments and all of that, I don't want anybody to know how good I actually am or not, right? I would rather you think that I'm orange rank and then sandbag against me if we're meeting in a tournament. I noticed that that mindset is not very prevalent, but back in the days, it used to be a badge of, I don't know, like respect to have a really low rank, like to have an artificially low rank. Nowadays they call it like smurfing, but like back in the day it was like a thing to do that on your main account to keep your rank as low as possible. And then, you know, when you jumped into ranked matches, you know, it was like one match. Oh, I can't level up, man. I gotta keep that low. I don't want people to know I'm a Shihan, right? So that's my personal opinion on rank, is that I don't really want my rank to be high, and I don't really care for it to be high, but I do like to follow the data. And that's where things get interesting. Let's go back to time and space, okay? Time and space, okay? Get the cool Devil Jin music, right? Let's pull up the data because today we've received some data on Street Fighter 6's ranked percentiles, right? So we look at that, and we got a beginner, what is it, rookie, iron, up to master. Now, I don't play Street Fighter, but I am a fighting game enthusiast, okay? Even though I don't play Street Fighter, I follow it, okay? I follow, man, like, I look up, like, tournament results for freaking Melty Blood Actress Again, Code 11, Aquapaza, Nitro Blasters Type R, like, all that stuff, right? So, yeah, get that out of the way, right? But, anyways, so here are the Street Fighter 6 ranks, and I look at them, and we can actually see the percentiles, right? We can see, look, these are bigger ones, like 0.02% is like the master rank, you know, 1%, right? If you're in the master rank at 1799, you're in the 0.1.2%. Or no, 1.01.2%, right? And that's cool to check against our Tekken 8 rank. Why does this keep coming up? Get the hell out of here. Our Tekken 8 rank distribution, right? So you can look that, this is kind of an old one, but the numbers aren't that much different. I've seen a more updated one. This is as of February 15th. But for the most part, like, this is kind of still the bell curve of where it's at. It's just these percentages have changed. But the bell curve looks pretty much the same. So for the most part, we can gather from this data that the majority of players fall into like red ranks here. So I guess if you're a Garyu, I'm looking, I can't really see the rank. I don't care what the ranks are. But if you're Gary, you're like average, right? The red ranks is average. So what am I, eliminator? Okay, so I'm in the middle of below average. I'm below average at Tekken, people. Oh man. Oh yeah, but red rank says that you're average, and then like the top 1% I believe is now over here at Tekken Lord, the first gold rank. Is when this was made was at the 0.05%. I've seen the newer number and that was closer to 1% now. Some people have ranked up. But what I find interesting is that we can kind of look, right? Because again, I follow multiple games and I always find it interesting to see how players stack up in different ranks. So if you are, for example, a purple rank in Tekken, according to the current numbers, that would put you around diamond rank, right? Because 10%, again, these are old, so 10%, the top 10% now is, I believe, purple rank. Yeah, Gary Hughes, you're not in the top 10% anymore. It's more like the top 20%. The bell curve is the same, but the numbers are different. I believe top 10% is around the, they're right here. These purple ranks, right? That's where the top 10% is. So Flame Ruler would be equivalent to about what, like, you know, diamond, like early diamond, upper platinum. No, actually, yeah, that's like second tier diamond, right? The tier 2 of diamond in Street Fighter. And I always find that fascinating because does that really transfer, right? And that's why I don't really care much for rank. But, you know, like if I'm at this level in Tekken, you know, could I feasibly compete at this level in Street Fighter? And we know a lot of people that do. For example, Daigo is, from what I have heard historically, been very strong at Guilty Gear. Alex Valle is a Street Fighter legend. He's very good at Tekken, I can tell you. I have played that man. His King is godlike when King wasn't godlike. What was the other one? Chris G, right? He plays NetherRealm games and Marvel. And I believe he plays Street Fighter now as well. So a lot of the people that play multiple games, generally when they play multiple games, their rank kind of transfers a little bit, right? There's no disputing that, like, if Daigo, well, I think Daigo's master rank, right? But there's no disputing that if Daigo were to hit master rank in Street Fighter, and then we know he's good in Guilty Gear. If he were to go to, Guilty Gear doesn't have ranks, does it? Yeah, bad example. Okay. Alex Valle. Sorry, not bad manners, just good weed. Alex Valle, let's say, I don't know if Alex Valle is master rank. He might be washed up. I haven't talked to the old man in years. But if he were high rank in Street Fighter, and then if he made that rank in Tekken, now it's not assumed, right? It's not assumed that, oh, he's that good in Street Fighter, he must be that good in Tekken. But if he were also that good in Tekken, we wouldn't be surprised, right? If you found out, like, oh yeah, Alex Valle, he's master rank, under 12.99, say just the bottom of master rank in Street Fighter, which is 3%, and then we go over to Tekken, and then we just say that Tekken God is like, what is it, the right before Tekken Lord or whatever is the 3% here. We wouldn't automatically assume that he was 3% in one game, 3% in the other, but if he were, we would not be surprised. And this is why I always say that it's very, very important for you guys to play multiple games. Because while I find ranks to be not very valid, I do find data to be interesting. And whether or not a high-level player reaches a certain rank is not relevant. What is relevant is that if a high player, I'm a high player, right? If a high-level player reaches, a significant rank in one game, it is almost assumed that they could potentially do that in another, to the point where when they do, it is not a surprise worthy of note. If Alex Valle came out and said I was Tekken Bro Supreme, I'll be like, yeah, whatever. Your king is sweaty as fucking king is top tier, right? So the real crux of it is that you should play multiple games, okay? If you want to improve, don't look at your rank as it relates to the rank within your game. Okay, that's a deception. That's just going to get you to plateau. Okay, when I'm facing someone in a tournament, it doesn't matter if they're Tekken Bro Supreme or Tekken God Amazing or what is this, blue, right? I'm blue. You know, oh no, that's teal, right? I'm aquamarine, right? Like, I'm not thinking about that when I'm fighting you. But if I hear beforehand you're notable in multiple games, okay, because these ranks can be jimmied, right? We all know this. There are people like me who are not at the rank that they should be, who would be considered smurfing. You know, there are people that boost. Tekken is rife with plugging. It's like absolutely plug laden. There's the guy on PC that cheats with Kazuya. He's been doing it forever since they put the game on PC. So if I go to match up with someone and they're Tekken God of Explosions or whatever, right? I don't care, right? I think it's God of Destruction. I'm always going to have that doubt in my mind. Is he really that good? Or did he like gimmick? Right? It's online. But if he's Tekken God of Destruction, and I know that he's also master in Street Fighter, then it's like, all right, okay, now we're talking. All right, and so yes, those of you that are just getting into Tekken and you know, leveling up, a lot of you guys that have been training under me are now hitting, what is it, the Flame Ruler? I know somebody was talking about hitting Flame Ruler last night, one of the guys I trained up, so good for you, you've ranked up, but I don't want you guys to focus too much on rank. Make sure that you just use it as a tool to kind of estimate where your opponent sits. Never use it as a tool to estimate where you sit. Use it as a tool to estimate where they sit. And then again, assume that they're lying, okay? Because I'm going to try to keep my rank as close to Eliminator as possible till the end of time. You know, unless I accidentally, I don't know, I've been hearing it's pretty easy to level for really good people now. Some people are hitting like purple ranks in like 2 or 3 days just spamming with Dragunov. So I saw a video of somebody on Reddit that was like, yeah, I just did While Running 2 and his new low hatchet, and I got to Flame Ruler or whatever in 2 days. And it's like, okay, so it's not that hard to hit purple ranks anymore. I gotta be careful because like I may end up getting a streak if there's not a lot of pluggers. But don't let rank determine where you stand in a game. Use rank as a way to determine where they stand in the game. And then also double check that against somebody that plays multiple games. You know, because somebody, like, for example, Elder God and MK is, like, meaningless, right? Like, somebody would be like, I'm Elder God and MK, and they're, like, green here in the Tekken. You know what I mean? So, don't look at rank like that. Look at rank as a tool and a weapon to wield against your opponent, okay? I try to keep my rank low, but some people are going to be foolish enough to get their rank up. And in Tekken, that's a thing, right? There are some people like Anakin who are so well known they can't hide it. But someone like me, I can hide it so I can look and say, okay, you know, there are different patterns and habits that people do at these different ranks. And at high level, we take note of that. So around this level, like orange to red, is like people that like win with like mix-ups, right? These are the people that will like try to high-low you, and you know, the Bryans with the down forward threes, And then once you get around here are going to be people that block and punish more. And pretty much they're just going to block and punish. And then once you get out of there, you're going to get into people who also know all of the gimmicks, right? At this rank, you'll sit there and you'll find people that know how to duck. And then over here, you know, like once you get up in here, it's like they put it all together. Like these are the people like at tournament that I'm usually playing with. Like when I'm in a bracket, these are the people that beat me. So that's how I know is like, all right, I'm around here. Okay, these are the guys that beat me offline. None of these guys beat me offline unless I'm having a bad night. In Tekken, it could be anything. But that's what's important is wherever rank you fall into is going to be a tell. And so when I look at somebody who's around here, it's like, oh, okay, like they're going to get mixed up a lot because they're going to be looking for mix, and rather than looking to catch it, they're offensive minded and trying to knowledge check me. So as long as I blow up the knowledge check, I shut down their offense, and then I can do whatever I want. You know, I just have to be defensive in the first couple of seconds of a match, show them whatever dumb shit that got you at this rank. I know how, and then blow that up, and then I can face roll the rest of the match. It's like when I get here, it's like, okay, now I've got to force buttons, because if I press and they block, it's going to hurt. So I have to be very careful about what I let them block and what I whiff and where I whiff it. But also, I can use that. I can whiff stuff, and I know that they're going to try to whiff punish it, so I can this is the ranks where I can start baiting buttons. You know, these guys are more better at it. At this level, they will punish everything and they will not press. And this is the varying degree of it, right? They will not press and they will punish everything. So how do you get a button out of these guys? This is like where that's where I get problems, right? Over here, it's like, okay, I gotta get a button. Over here, it's like, I just gotta be safe. Over here, I just gotta know more strings than they do. Over here, I just gotta block. Over here, I could just mash buttons until like you get here where you can't even unlevel anymore, right? You just gotta like pick Paul, and then I think my Paul is here on accident because I can't level down anymore or something, right? But so your level actually gives tells. It gives tells about some of the habits, because those of us who have played Tekken for a long time, we kind of know what habits people have at certain levels, and so we try to exploit that. And this is why I try to tell some of you that are like higher level in Tekken, especially those of you that came from Mortal Kombat and I've been training and you've gotten a lot better. I'm like, yeah, you need to ease off rank, because if you're going to start going to competitions, you don't really want to let people, especially if you're an online warrior, right? You go to a fucking tournament and they're going to see that you're like Tekken Judas Omega, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay. And it's like, if you're not like God of Destruction, to where it's like, oh, okay, this guy is either a bot or a plugger, or he's like gonna be rough, right? But whatever rank you fall at, that's gonna give me tells on what to do against you, and it's almost like clockwork how that works. You see someone at Kishin, and you're like, oh, at Kishin, okay, all right, I'm gonna try and bait buttons from them. I'm gonna whiff and then bait buttons, you know. At Kishin, I'm gonna whiff a jab and then sidestep, and they're gonna try to punish my jab because they're expecting me to do a string, and then I'm gonna launch them. You know, it's like you get those tells at those ranks. So hopefully some of you kind of keep your ranks artificially low like me. And those of you that have your ranks where they are, there you go, man. If you're in Flame Mighty Ruler in the purples, you're about the top 10%. If you're red orange, you're about the average, right? And as it relates to Street Fighter, if you're around there, that will put you around what? Diamond, platinum? Look, this is the top 10% of Street Fighter. Diamond rank, man. Diamond rank. I don't know, it's always kind of interesting, like, because I've been playing these games for a long time, and so, like, a lot of the things that put me at that level that are just basic fundamental things like blocking, punishing. Yeah, blocking and punishing will get you to freaking max ranks in Tekken if you just know how to do that. Like, if you know how to punish a minus 14 consistently, you'll beat, like, the vast majority of people in Tekken, right? Because most people in ranks, they think minus 14, that's not launch punishable, like, it may as well be safe. So they'll just do minus 14, so you just block minus 14, right? Like, they still do, like, freaking 35 damage or something. Like, it still hit kind of hard eating a minus 14 Punisher, right? You block and punish, gets you to high ranks. So, like, I never really thought of that as like, oh yeah, you know, I'm high rank, because it's like I've always played with killers offline, so I never needed the validation of like, oh yeah, I reached diamond, I'm good enough. It's like, dog, I totally just won a set on fucking XYZ in casuals. Like, and that to me is way more hype, right? Like, when I beat, like, Just Frame James on stream, I was like, oh, I will retire from Tekken forever! Like, you know what I mean? Way more hype than the rank. But yeah, top 10% if you're in Tekken 8. If you're in the purple ranks, ignore the ranks, guys. Just ignore the ranks. Stay away from them. We've been talking about this for 21 minutes. Okay, that has told you everything you need to know about ranks, okay? It tells you you need to look at ranks as a tool to blow up the other people. Screw them, I only want to defeat them, and then you keep your rank low, okay? And then if you see somebody that's a killer in multiple games, you respect that person, okay? You respect them, okay? Because, yeah, they're demonic in nature. Alright, I'm SoCal Honey Badger, and I'm gonna be streaming in like, I don't know, hour and a half. So if you want to learn some Tekken with me, then we'll do that. But it'll be on Twitch and YouTube. So if you're watching this elsewhere, then you'll have to go to Twitch or YouTube. Alright?